Looking earlier for other videos when I've sat in this heat trap. It's been a long time since I remember making videos doing this. Long ago, this trap has been the whole time of the house because behind it is a sunroom and beside it, it's now a family room, but this part with the wood here, this used to be a woodshed. And so I'm sitting in the same spot I always sat in. Used to be hydrangeas would grow behind me. And there was also a big tree right here in this corner. Then the renovations came and then the deck came and now I keep a swing on here. I like having a swing on here. It's a really good idea. I should bring back the swing that was on here before, but I like where it is. This is probably okay. It's good to have a place to sit outside where you're protected from the wind, where the sun can beat on you if it's cold. Because when it's sunny, you really need the vitamin D. Most of us have rectangular houses or square, not with corners. If you've got a inside corner, it's like this. If you've got an inside corner that's facing south, that's the best place. It's interesting to look at the place you're at and see what it looked like before. I did do a search, Nancy Today heat trap, and I found one video. It was where I was walking, it was in October, I think, and I was walking I came out of the woodshed door and I was walking around the side of the house to here. We used to have those patio tile stones around in the pathway. And then it would be just a pathway along the side of the deck, side of the sunroom. But that's all changed now because this is all level and it goes all the way around. And the people that were doing it kept trying to convince me not to bother doing that wasn't a good idea. I wanted it all the way around. And it's been so good. We can snow blow all the way around. We can go for walks all the way around. Well, you've been with me when I've gone for walks around the deck. And it also gives many places to go. Many areas can become a space, a place. I really like making places. That's why I've got all these roofs. I would like a roof over this spot, but I think the best thing I could do for a roof would just to be to take 4 posts and just make a roof a freestanding roof with legs. And the thing about a roof, in this position, you see how low the sun is? Well, throughout the winter, the sun will never get very high. It will come in the car window forever, every time. So that means if I had a roof that was angled up there, it would never block the sun from me because the sun is coming just along, it's going like that. And the wind does not go anywhere near upright. I mean, this is almost noon, right? This is just after noon, 1 o'clock, 1:30. And look, there's vertical, and way down there is where the sun is. And it's gonna set over there. It just makes and it rises over here, so it just makes a line right now. Not very high on the elliptic. It's so nice to have a place like this to apprecate. So how is everybody? I haven't talked to you for a while. I'm able to talk longer now, but I have very little energy. Sometimes I get an idea and I stand up and do it. About 2 or 3 minutes later, I have to go lie down. It snowed again yesterday, so the snow is on the on the ground over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really nice to see snow through the woods, in the woods. I feel I miss things when it's raining and when it's snowing. I mean, when it's raining and when I'm sick. When it's sunny out and I have to go outside. Sometimes I think about my mom. Like just then, I thought about how my mom was content to stay inside all the time. She would go for her walk up to the hill, up to the mailbox and back, which is a very short walk. It was up to the end of the driveway and back, and she'd use her walker. And she really appreciated the swing up there. That really made a difference in her life, having that swing. She really loved it. But I would go out there. I couldn't be in the house when it was sunny. I just couldn't do it. It was so awful to be cut off from the sunshine. It's a really weird thing I go through. If I'm in the sunroom, in the upstairs room, the big room, it's like a sunroom, and I feel good being in the house because it's all sunny. And then I come down the stairs and it gets darker, and the living room is now much darker. And it used to have all these windows and the sun would come streaming in the winter, but now the trees have grown 25 years worth of growth, and the sun doesn't come in as well. But if you want to train a tree to go a certain direction, then you just have to start bending it when it's little. I was thinking of bending the tree that's out there. I was going to bend it so it goes over to the upstairs balcony. But I don't know if I will now. You know, it would be interesting. Remember how I put the camera, my handy cam, how I dangled it on the cat's, I gave him a necklace with it, a collar, and it would swing around when he would go places. You know, it'd be very interesting would be to put it on him and see what he sees under the deck. He's probably going to go under the deck. Of course, he might try and rub it off like they did with the other one. It'd scratch the front of it. Well, see if you've said anything. Oh, hello, people. What have you said? This looks like the color of Sue's. See, oh, there we go. Hi, Nancy. It's Devin from Georgia. Hi, Devin. Did you vote? Did you vote? Please vote. Is today voting day? I voted already. I voted from here. Suze, hi, Nancy. How are you and Willem feeling? Willem he's been better. He's got a cough, but he's been going out and blowing the snow around with his leaf blower. And as I said, I have a little tiny bit of energy. I'll get up and try to empty out a little drawer or something, and then I'll have to go lie down. So slowly but surely things are happening, but really nothing is happening. Mostly I've just been laying around trying to write in my journal, but my pens keep going dry. What was the other thing here? I'm envious of your snow. We have wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Oh my goodness. That's in Kansas, right? Is it blowing the top soil away? Looks like a beautiful day. It is, Tyler. It's amazing. Voting day is Tuesday. Oh, okay. Good job. Good job. Very important to vote these days. I have a problem with what with who to vote for and what not who to vote for, but what side am I on? Am I a Democrat or am I a Republican? I'd hate to think I was a Republican because Republicans, as far as I've ever known, are just money. They clamp the money shut. That's their whole purpose in life is clamping the money shut and making it good for business. So lower taxes for business and no labor unions and somehow those people back when I was young, they were not together with religious people. That they didn't go together because they just didn't. And now the religious people go with them. And the Democrats are the ones that want to help people that are less fortunate. So they like social programs and taking care of people and gun control and oh yeah, and the Republicans are all for using guns however they want with no limits. So I don't agree with those things of the Republicans. And the Democrats, they also have some I don't agree with children being taught all about different kinds of sexuality when they're little. I don't think that's important. I don't think that they can even comprehend it. They are not gone through puberty yet. And I think the time to teach children about their bodies and sexuality is when they go through puberty. And exactly what you teach them at time, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. I guess it's got to just be a straight biology thing. But I don't agree with having it exposing little children to it all. That's not, I don't think that's important. That's not good for them. Hi, Anne. Sorry about that. My mom didn't go out in the sun when the sun was shining. She stayed in the house. But I would leave and go out in the sun. And then I would feel guilty because I was supposed to be with her inside, but it was not sunny inside. But her experience with the sunshine was that it's extremely hot. And my experience with the sunshine is it's warm and it's wonderful. But she would put up really thick drapes to keep the sun from coming in, to keep the house cool, because we never had air conditioning in Georgia. We lived in a brand new house. It should have had air conditioning, and I thought it should have been carpeted. If it was carpeted, then it would be much, it's a much more beautiful, valuable house if it was carpeted. But actually, it had wood floors, which I guess are much more expensive than the carpeting on subfloor. They're looking for the clicker. I don't like it when the television is on or the smart TV. If I didn't have one and didn't use my phone or laptop, what would I accomplish? Sometimes when the children are here and they're playing with them, they have them going. I don't have that, and I lay down and I write in my journal, and then I get up and do something, and then I lay down again. So I guess what I do when there's not television or something is tidy up, or I'm trying to de-junk. I'm trying to go through all the bookcases and remove things that don't have to be there. And it's sort of working. There are getting to be, everything that is the same is going into the same place. I didn't realize I was like my mother like that. She would put everything everywhere. So every bag, every little container on her desk or by a chair or over in the other. They'd all have emery boards and maybe nail clippers and maybe scissors, and there'd always be a pad and paper and dictionary and box of Kleenex and a garbage container everywhere you sit. It was just standard fare, my mother's house. But when you go to tidy up or when you go to dejunk and you're cleaning out drawers, it's very interesting to be putting together all of the pinchers, the beard stuff. Every one of them is in the same place. I have quite a few. There's a handful of them. And there's all these strange scissors my mother had. Maybe. Okay, I gotta go out. No, I don't. It's only Willem. Here he comes. Hi, darling.
Hi.
You need our vitamin D.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. The sun.
Isn't this the best? It's
Yeah.
a sun trap.
No wind to speak of.
That's why it's a sun trap.
Mm-hmm. So Desmond lost a clicker. He had and he went somewhere and now we can't find it. He looked everywhere. He thought he might go out. He was on the way outside, but
He might have brought it out here.
he says not.
Hmm.
Well, your coat is on the trampoline. Because you have put it in your coat. No.
You know, we used to have 3 clickers. Remember that?
Yeah.
So maybe if he looks hard enough, he'll find another clicker.
Yeah.
There's always a possibility. Such a pretty day. It's so nice to get some sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should open this door at the end of the house and the other one on the other end of the house and let the wind blow through for a few minutes. So open them until you start to feel it and then close them all and the heaters will heat it all back up again. But at least we'll blow the germs out. Because the air in the house must be full of germs now. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah, maybe.
If I did that and you didn't have to do it.
No, I can do it. I can do it. But the only thing is the cat.
Ah, the cat. He has to go upstairs in Maya's room with the door closed. Or in Desmond's room with the door closed. There was a screen that was positioned so it was blocking the hole into the roof, above the kitchen roof. It's up in the big room, the upper room.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hole in the corner that goes into, what is it called? A crawl space.
Attic. Yeah.
Oh, it's an attic. Okay, we have an attic. Ha!
Well, not really a walk-in attic, but it's still an attic, I think.
It's a crawl-in attic.
Yeah.
Hey, I bet that would be a fun place for the children. I used to go in a place like that at home.
Yeah, but if they're in trouble, it would be difficult to retrieve them.
I know. Anyway, in the attic, there was a screen in front of the doorway to it. He couldn't get in there. And so I moved the screen so that if he suspects mice, he can go in there. I also have the little doorway open to go under the stairs, downstairs, so he can go into the basement, the crawl space, if he feels like looking for mice.
Have you ever any evidence that he actually he caught even one mouse?
I have no evidence. However, have you seen any mice lately?
No.
We were seeing them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's catching them. He does definitely hunt outside.
Mm-hmm.
He's always hunting outside. See what this
But
says.
then,
No, he's out in the grass hunting sometimes. Hi, Susan. I'm crocheting a little doll for my granddaughter for Christmas. It's got a bunch of clothes and pattern crochet with a pattern to crochet. Isn't that cute? Hey, I think I'm heating up so much I have to open up my coat. Oh, this is a momentous moment. It's because I have a big sweater on under it. Nice to sit with you, Willem. So are they playing on their devices?
not sure what Maya's doing.
She's probably upstairs playing on her device, right?
I think so. And Desmond may still be looking for the clicker.
That clicker has a mind of its own, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You're enjoying applicating, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Except the sun is burning my forehead.
There. Now you have some forehead shade.
Leave my hat.
Would you like to go get your hat?
Yeah, maybe I should.
Will you come back?
Yeah.
Will you bring water?
Well, no.
Oh, that's a stretch. Never mind. You could bring a bottle of 7-Up. They're up in the top of the third cupboard. The third column. Top cupboard, top shelf, third column. Little green bottles.
You mean cans?
No, they're in bottles. They're green. They're 7-Up, I think. Or a glass of water. Or nothing. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I think I'm going to go to the dump soon.
Oh, the dump. I should go to the dump for something. What do I need to do at the dump? I need to give you things to go to the dump. So I guess, could you bring me water first?
Okay.
Thank you. Or 7-Up.
What do you prefer?
7-Up.
Okay.
Thank you. It's hard not feeling good, isn't it? I've decided that a 67-year-old has as much energy as I have. So sometimes I have lots of energy, sometimes I don't have much, sometimes I have absolutely none. But I have been sitting in the chair in front of the boob tube for about 6 hours a day. And I have to do something about that. I don't know if I need to, I don't know what to do about it. Do I sit in the chair without it on? Do I lay down on my bed? Do I lay on the couch? Now, what do I want to read a book? I get books out and I start looking through books and I go out and I'll really, really read it for 2 or 3 pages and then life gets in the way and that book sits there and I find another book and I read 2 or 3 pages and I have books and books and stacks of books and then they all end up going back to the bookcase because it's been so long that I've forgotten what I was reading anyway. I don't have enough attention span to sit and read because I have to get up and do something active. I haven't got my spinning wheel going. I need to do that. I need to get it, crank it up. Sure is bright out here. Hi, dear. Thank you very much. Look at that. I have a ginger ale or a Sprite or something. 7-Up. I like that show, The Extraordinary Attorney Wu. Is so good. She has autism spectrum disorder and she's brilliant, and she is a lawyer now. But she's kind of awkward. She doesn't know the social cues. She has a bunch of pictures that she checks to see what people's emotions are, to see what emotions she should put on her face. Bye. He's gone. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's getting Desmond's coat. That blanket fell down off of the trampoline.
Oh, I should get it too. Well, then I can take his pockets. I was just thinking maybe the clicker would be underneath there or in the pocket there. So you walk around.
He's walking around there. Let's see how I do that there. Can't tell which way it's facing. It's pretty bright out here. So it looks like you are going to get to go to Hawaii. What? I know, I gave it to them to play on trampoline with, but they just rolled up and fought about it. Mostly Maya fought about it. Desmond rolled himself up. She just lay there and screamed and pulled. I couldn't get her to try and, you know, like, this is not working. Screaming and pulling and demanding is not working. So therefore, stop doing it and think of some other way. The other way that I know, the best way I know, is to get something that they like and be interested in it. Pretend like you're interested in it. And then they will forget what you want and they will come get their thing. And that works every time. But she hasn't figured out that, you know, she hasn't figured out yet that no matter how many times she tries to pull the blanket away from Desmond, he's always going to be able to keep it. And if he doesn't keep it, he will grab it back. Of course, she wants to lay it out and then have it on the trampoline and they can lie down on it or whatever, jump on it or anything. No, I think they want to lay in the sun. But she's not figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And the same thing whenever he comes in her room now, she screams at the top of her lungs, "Get out, get out, get out." Not even like, "Hello, hi, how are you? What you doing?" Nothing. Just get out, get out, get out, get out. And it doesn't work. He stays. And so if you try one solution and it doesn't work, it's like nagging your husband, right, Willem? I'm finally learning that nagging him isn't any worthwhile because he doesn't listen. So I'm just wasting my voice. And then he has to react to me. He has to in some way block out the noise or put up a wall in his attention. Somehow he has to ignore me, and whatever effort that takes.
It's hard to ignore you. You're nagging. Oh boy. It's just like ping grab attention. It's hard to ignore. that's why
I'm
people
not
say.
going to say it.
That's why some people say that people are a pain in the behind.
I wasn't going to say that. I suppose
I didn't say it
it's
either.
self-incriminating. So I'm learning gradually not to tell you to do things that you aren't going to want to do. It's an easy remedy. And then you don't have to ignore me or be in a bad mood or get irritable, and I don't have to focus on it. I can find something else to focus on. I can spend my time screaming as we go off the side of the road. Boy, those children, the screaming that's been going on. And yet, when they're by themselves with their screens, all is well. It was like when we raised our family. For some years, it was so loud in our house. There was somebody yelling everywhere. Somebody was fighting with somebody. And then the teenagers, Ben in particular, would be yelling at the other ones to be quiet. And it was always bedlam. Always. Then Ben moved out, and Scarlett was already gone. And I don't think she didn't live here when we moved here. She came and stayed for some times, but not for, like, she didn't live here a long time. But then when Ben left, and it was just the three of them, it was so different. There was not the constant yelling from Ben to tell them to be quiet. Remember that? How everything changed?
Yeah.
And then once Abraham got old enough, got tall enough, like he turned 12 and he went through his growth spurt, and suddenly he was as big as Daniel. And the first thing he did when he realized that he was the same size is he punched him. He fought with him physically. Daniel had been beating him up for years and years and years. And then, of course, I was in the middle, always trying to go and rescue Abraham. It was like my purpose in life was to protect Abraham from Daniel. And Elida grew up without me really even noticing. I focused on protecting Abraham and stopping the fighting. That was my whole focus, that and cooking. Do you remember that, Willem?
Yeah.
Well, it's a shame because Elida was awesome. I mean, she called herself Joyful Girl.
I remember that, yeah.
I mean, who calls themselves that when they're young? And I guess because she was always happy and content, I would give her rides to her friend's house. She was always content. She'd be in her room doing stuff, and then she'd be at her friends, and then they'd be together doing it here or there. We lived so far away, it was hard for friends to come over. We never lived in a town. Well, we did it at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's full, yeah.
Yeah. And there were a few kids that would come over. Robbie from across the road. And Candace, she was Elida's friend. And then they started using their computers. All the kids had computers because Ben thought it was very important that everybody have a computer. So he just went to town and built everybody a computer. And he'd have Daniel and Abraham come and sit beside him, and he'd ask them questions and say, now where do you put the hard drive? He'd have the motherboard there. And now where does the hard drive go? And now where does the fan go? And where do these cords plug in? And where's the RAM?